Welcome to BattleTech in the Morning with Captain Nips. I'm Captain Nips. This is BattleTech. Or at least we hope it's going to be. Because a thought crossed my mind last night as I was struggling to get to sleep, counting griffins and fire starters in my sleep, trying to fall into unconsciousness. The changes from Beta Phase 2 to Evasion have, I think, on the whole, been received by the community fairly well. I think they were a good set of changes to make Evasion useful but not completely stupid, because let's face it, Beta Phase 1 Evasion was completely stupid. See all of the videos in which I used Evasion during Beta Phase 1. But the thought occurred to me, I haven't really tried to suss out to a deep and painful manner how Evasion is going to change the way games are going to play. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I present Total Evasion.
Welcome, Commander.
Where two teams of light pilots square off. This is going to be a shootout for the ages because honestly, I don't know that any of these pilots know how to shoot. I mean, I guess, all right, let's be fair. Paradise and Ozone and Blockade, their gunneries are fine. There's nothing to complain about there. Showboat's gunnery isn't great. But when we put all of these pilots with Evasive Move into all of these mechs that are relatively lightweight, fast, we do it on both sides so that there's lance on lance scrum of nothing but fast moving mechs. I really wonder how many of anybody's shots are actually going to land in this match. Now, it could stand to reason that sometimes the AI makes a mistake and doesn't use all of its movement that's available to it. But you and I both know, dear viewer, light mechs should never stop. Never stop moving. So, to really lean into this, we're going to go to Death Valley. And I'm specifically going to try and pick a fight in a place where there are no trees and where there is no meaningful cover to be had. There's the mineral fields, which aren't going to help, but those don't slow you down. And I'm going to stay off of the hills and whatnot as best I can. Nice open flat area where everybody can get their full moves. And let's just see how much longer than we would expect a match like this should take. Sunset Desert on Death Valley. Let's get started. Because if this goes the way I fear, this match could take 2 hours. And not for necessarily being careful about every single move, but just you get a bunch of pilots that are middling to not so great with the gunnery, that also have Evasive Move, that are also in light mechs that are going to be moving fast, generating that much more movement modifier. Well then, that just sounds like a recipe for a lot of whiffing shots.
What can I do for you? How might I help?
So, just taking a quick survey of the map, I think this is the location we're probably going to end up in, let's be honest. If the two teams just kind of crash down on each other, it's going to be right here at the off-ramp. Good question is, which way is the off-ramp? Anyway, I could try and bend the fight over here. Things get a little sticky with this wall here. There's some trees here we kind of want to avoid. I think, and then there's these trees here. I think if I can push the fight up, literally up into this kind of area, that'll get us what we're looking for, which is
position confirmed.
How much of a mess does it turn into when everybody has 6 movement modifier pips every turn? How did that not trigger any sensors? That's astonishing.
Waiting on you, Commander.
I honestly thought for sure that
What's the plan?
somebody was going to pick up a sensor trace there.
Moving out.
There we go.
Picked up a blip.
Also, since both teams are running nothing but light mechs and no one has Master Tactician, this is going to just be one giant scrum in Initiative Phase 4. You go, I go, in the classic
Becoming a target-rich environment.
classic rules set of tabletop BattleTech, where you go, I go. So everybody here is going to have a ton of movement modifiers. So it looks like our commandos can generate 4 movement pips,
You have orders?
and our Jenners can generate 5. How come our commandos can't generate more? Showboat, are you sleeping on the job on me? Let's see what Paradise has got. No, interesting. The commando can only generate 4. Maybe there's some voodoo at work here. I'm not entirely sure. But let's go pick on this guy over here.
On my way.
Yep, seems good. 30%.
Targeting for an alpha.
Better get used to that. Land a fairly potent shot, breaking in through the right torso of that Jenner. As we see enemy fire stripping a movement pip off of my lead Jenner. Kind of don't want to get into the minefield, or the mineral field I should say, but he is. It is. That's unfortunate. Let's see. How about we do... Alright. Ideally, I would want to move full bore every time. Why not? 25s and 20. Ooh, boy. This is going to be a sloppy mess of a match. Actually landing 2 of the lasers here, opening up the other side panel of the first Jenner. This is going to be one of those matches where you just keep firing and you hope to just chip the enemy down to death, I think. I am honestly surprised that the commandos aren't faster. I had it in my mind that they had more speed than this.
Don't need to tell me twice.
And could keep up with a Jenner. I am mistaken, it looks like. I'll have to go back and check the tabletop stats because
All weapons are go.
I was legitimately expecting the commandos to outpace the Jenners. But what are you going to do? Doing a good job of chipping down this lead Jenner on the enemy team. Also, I'm not sure what the other rest of the enemy team is doing here. Look at that. We finally got 2 hit numbers that are almost breaking even as a coin flip. 40s and 45. Fortunately for us, the commandos are bringing missile racks to help sneak some shots through via massed missile fire.
Where that came from.
Are you really moving up for a melee attack? It's moving up for a melee attack. A fairly significant melee attack. I'm a little flustered and surprised. A, it was able to make that much move in melee attack. B, it actually connected with the melee attack. C, it took the armor off of the leg of this Jenner. I'm honestly a little surprised.
What do you need?
Let's fix that by fixing his buddy with our guns. Let's see. We want to generate some good movement. 4 pips. Get the turn. Go from giving up my left side to giving up my right side over here. Also, we're gotta figure out where their 4th mech is at. Hey, look! Better than coin flips. And the only reason we have this is because I'm using the very first mech on my turn before their Jenner gets a chance to move.
Let her rip.
taking advantage of the rolling nature of the initiative. Where is their fourth mech? Where is that? Where, oh boy, Jenner's taking a holiday. He apparently did not appreciate getting pounded. So let's move on to his melee frenzied buddy here. Well, let's see. Can we get? Looks like the best I'm going to do is get 4 movement modifier pips. So we'll take that. Want to keep the pressure on. Want to keep firing at mechs. Keep maneuvering. Ugh, 45s, 35s. The only saving grace to this match, oh my lord, look at him open up a can on that commando. The only saving grace to the way that this match is going to play out is that because these are all light mechs, and they're all relatively, I mean, they're not under armored for their weight, but I mean, there is less armor there to work with. Anything that does hit immediately opens up an armor panel. So
Good to go.
damage that does get done here is going to go a long way towards ruining the target. Showboat showing off some good coin flips. Keeping kind of a running tally in the back of my mind. What do our percent to hits look like? So far we've topped out at 55. Catch the left arm of the commando here that got a little salty for his taste. Where's their fourth mech? Jenner 1, Commando 2, Jenner 3. Where's Commando 0.4? Well, neither here nor there.
Yes, Commander.
My commandos know what they're doing, so they're going to move to position, turn, and fire on this poor schmuck. Look at that! 65% with the arm-mounted medium laser. 60-55 with the 2 SRMs.
Yes, Commander.
Doing our best to chip through as we steal a few more weapons off of the beleaguered commando in the middle of the map here. He decides to go running. I think the AI is broken. I think something has happened and the AI does not know what to do with itself.
On my way.
Which is, oh, hello. Well, there's the other commando. I think the AI has actually fallen apart. Hey, look at that, back to 30s. But
Copy that.
wounded commando. If 1 or 2 of these sneak through, we might get something. Right torso. All right, not terribly exciting.
My heat sinks can't take much more of this.
Gonna have to watch my heat here.
Internal structure damage. Yep. Waiting for orders.
What's my heat scale look like? This is I might have to drop a medium laser off. I don't want to overheat too much in this match because shutting down seems like the worst idea. Yeah, so let's drop off one of the medium lasers.
I got you.
Using our wonderful 1 in 3 chances to actually land a hit with this equipment.
My heat gauge is getting pretty high.
Enemy Jenner getting salty. Hit to the center torso as the Jenner headbutts the other Jenner.
What can I do for you? I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Showboat becoming the beneficiary of going near the end of the turn, getting
This should be good.
everybody else to chip down some of these movement modifiers, and pop goes the commando.
Bang, you're dead.
So far we're not on a bad pace. It's only round 5. One of their mechs is down. The other Jenner is, the first Jenner that we encountered is a little bit beat up. Their backup commando finally decides to join the party. I actually don't want to go after the Jenner over here because he's in cover, and that's just going to slow down the pace of murder. So, I'm going to
Moving out.
make a heel turn move here at the end and aim at the back of this Jenner with
Unleashing hell.
65%. Liberal numbers to hit. Good shot, good shot. Get in there on the back of the Jenner. Jenner number 1 comes back out of hiding. Take the shot on my lagging Jenner here.
Yep.
So let's take a quick look at this guy. If I catch him from the right, that is real good. So let's do that.
I'm there.
Even though 45s to hit is not great. It's shutdown warning. So let's just back off another laser. Pop goes the Jenner, and we are on our way up 2 kills to none. I don't think the AI really understands. I don't think the AI really understands how best to leverage evasive light mechs quite yet. Although that is a beautiful heel turn.
Armor breach.
Fire into Blockade's Jenner there. Let's give Blockade a chance to shine here. Oh, except he is running real hot. I'm going to break my own rule. I don't know how many movement modifier pips this is going to generate, but I need to bleed heat. So, let's make with the melee. Four movement pips on a move to melee. That's not bad. I'll take that. Halfway through round 6, and we have already killed half the enemy team. Honestly, this is going faster than I expected, which is okay.
Good to go.
Let's get rid of the Jenner, shall we? Can't quite get the line that I would like on it. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. 3, 4. 4 with obstruction. No. We'll take the 3. Skip the obstruction of this ramp here. Give ourselves the best chance to hit this Jenner. Check the heat. Heat's still good, at least for another salvo or 2. Showboat. Showing us why she is the Punch Queen and not the Empress of Weapons Fire.
Yes, Commander.
Paradise, if you'd be so kind as to crawl around to the back of this Jenner and take it to task.
I understand.
That would be great.
The target is confirmed.
Work the rear side of the Jenner, cutting into its armor. Jenner, throw him some shade back at Blockade. Blockade actually taking the hit in the head. Shot to the face. Blockade isn't going to have any of your sauce, sir. Not going to take that.
Position confirmed.
We're just going to move off and see if the application of some high energy weapons is... Oh, he is really hot. And his guts must not be super high. No, because his overheat threshold is very low compared to his shutdown threshold. You know what? What do we got? 41, 16. I don't know the exact values for how much damage you take when you overheat, but I'm hoping it's less than 16 and then less and more spread out than that, because I'd hate to lose a leg just to random weapons fire here. Structure damage, not surprised.
Watch those heat levels.
Yep, watch them go right up off the end of the scale. Showboat, the recipient of some unfriendly fire from the commando that finally figured out there's a battle.
Confirm.
Speaking of,
Awaiting order.
probably have Ozone, who's already running hot. You know what, let's have Showboat or Paradise
Orders.
try to do the rest of the work on this Jenner. What do we got? Backside or left side or where you want to be. So let's see if we can get to its back in relatively safe fashion. 3 pips with a obstructed view. It's not the best, but get the rear on this Jenner.
Firing everything I've got.
And Showboat
Gotcha.
showing up and, you know, convincing all of us that she is good at firing guns.
Yep.
Let's see, Ozone, I think we will just skedaddle and brace to let him bleed some heat. I'd like him to be able to get a good salvo off next turn.
Yes, Commander.
Paradise is in decent shape for heat purposes. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. We're gonna stand on this rock game.
Yes, Commander.
See this rock game? I want to go right up on top of there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Terrible 2-hit numbers, but
As you wish.
great vantage point as 2 or 3 missiles collide with the enemy commando. Enemy commando, I think Showboat is the most dangerous target here, as it puts a laser into a wall. Good shot. Good shot.
Yeah.
Alright, Blockade has a heat issue. It's a very powerful heat issue, so let's just
Confirmed.
take him on a little trip. Jenners, fast, potent, maneuverable, not very heat efficient in the long run. They're good for a couple of jabs with the knife, but then you have to back off and either measure your shots carefully or take some turns with no fire to bleed heat.
Keep an eye on my heat, Commander.
You don't say. Keep the movement modifiers up. Turn the corner.
On my way.
Showboat might be overheating if I take this shot. Yep, sure enough. But you know what? She's got plenty of structure to work with. You know, if she melts an actuator or two, we'll repair it. It's no big deal. Puts some good damage on the commando. Opens up a couple armor panels.
Awaiting orders.
Paradise. Likewise going to get an opportunity here. Get down into the crease.
Of course. Firing.
So it should be noted,
Watch it, Commander.
since we're down to 1 enemy mech versus 4, that this commando isn't able to keep up enough movement modifier pips that I can't just chip down through it using the whole team.
I'm
And
here.
regardless of the actual composition of the enemy lance, if you see mechs like this or other mechs that just are able to generate multiple movement modifier pips, you know, be it because of evasive move or they're a fast mech, you know, your best bet is to just focus fire, which is what you want to do anyway, and eventually you'll start sneaking hits through. There we go. Let's go cause some collateral damage, shall we? Ooh, actually that makes that terrible. Slightly less terrible. Blockade, we need to teach you about using your heat sinks. For now, we're just going to have you try and put some damage on this guy, get the leg knocked down. Remember, for every shot that you put on an evading target, it loses one of its movement modifier pips. Also, if you can catch a leg or a knockdown, removes all of the movement modifier pips. And then you can do heinous things like this. 75. Glorious. Near guaranteed numbers. That's what we like to see. And we're absolutely shutting down to catch this, because I'm just going to fire on center mass and turn this commando inside out. There we go. Mission accomplished in 9 rounds, which honestly is about 9 rounds shorter than I expected this to go.
Mission successful.
I am a little surprised that... I'm a little surprised at a couple of things. One, that the AI... It's getting movement modifiers, but I don't feel that it's necessarily really leaning into it, right? Like, my Commandos and Jenners, for the most part, are able to generate 4 to 6 movement modifier pips per turn pretty easily. And I think the computer AI mechs were generating somewhere in the neighborhood of like 3 to 4 on average, like a little bit below what I would expect it to, which tells me that it's not moving to the full extent that it could to maximize that penalty on my 2-hit numbers. Interesting outing, and we came away from the match pretty good condition, all things considered. Blockade takes a bunch of armor damage, including a shot to the face, but for the most part, everybody gets through pretty clean, and the enemy team does not. Sometimes you just have to throw massed fire at things, you know. So again, focus fire is something that you want to do anyway, because again, going back to something I said previously, you're in a damage race against the enemy lance, the enemy force. You want to put more damage on them before they put more damage on you. You want to eliminate targets, because eliminating targets removes their capacity to deal damage to you. So there's never a time, generally speaking, in which you don't want to be focus firing on things. You point 4 of your mechs at one of their mechs and you erase it. And then that means they only have 3 mechs to pick on one of your mechs to do the same. Especially with these light mechs, it's very easy to erase one, because even through the movement modifiers, with enough shots you can chip through, and then a single medium laser doing 25 damage, that's an entire armor panel on some of these mechs, you know. That's a quarter of the health center torso. In fact, let's just take a quick look. Jenner has 55 plus 50, has 105 damage that it can take to the center torso. A medium laser does 25. That's about 1/4 of its health right there. So if you chip through a badly modified shot because of the target's movement, and you happen to hit the CT, you're a quarter of the way there with the medium laser. Damage the target, focus fire. Let's just do a quick count. 4 medium lasers on this Jenner, 4 medium lasers on this Jenner. So that's 4, 8, 9, 10 medium lasers across the lance, plus SRM 4, 8, 12, 16, 22, 28. So we had SRM 28 and 10 medium lasers focused down on a single mech. That's 250 damage from the medium lasers. Let's think about this a different way. 10 medium lasers at 25% chance to hit. You're going to sneak 2.5 of the lasers through on any given shot. On any given round, I should say. that's 55 and call it 12 more damage expected value, which you're looking at like 62 and a half. So 62 and a half damage just from the lasers is enough to half core out a Jenner, damage a leg to the point where not much more will take to blow it off. Arms are just going to come straight off. Side torsos badly damaged. Commandos, it's even worse. Then you add in the SRM 24, 26, 28, 4, 8, 12, 16, 22, 28. 28 SRMs, a quarter of that is like, actually a quarter of that is exactly 7 SRMs. SRMs deal 10 damage apiece, 70 damage on your 62 and a half. It's 130 some. So at 25% chance to hit, if you focus fire this entire lance on a single enemy light, odds are pretty good you're going to do some substantial damage, if not kill it. And I think we kind of proved that out. Yes, you're going to spread the damage around, which means you're not going to get kill shots on the first round you fire. But by the time you've spent that third or fourth round focusing down on a target, pop, 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 and then the enemy lance is dead. Focus fire, ladies and gentlemen. It's important, it's useful, it's necessary, and it's going to maybe not create the most salvage for you, but it'll keep your equipment clean, which means less repair costs in the future. So, but I think with that in mind, looking to the future, that'll be all for today's BattleTech in the Morning. A relatively short video, but unfortunately life calls and chores need to be done. I think this is a good outing, and I feel like I've learned a little bit more here. Not a lot, but just a little bit of nuance to the way Evasion works, and the way the AI is continuing to be somewhat inept. But that's a different topic. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you the best of day, the best afternoon, the best evening, the best nighttime. Have a wonderful day, and I will see all of you in the next video.